Dear family member, it's your cousin Pete. Tired as hell, but my mind is moving. My mind is moving at 1,000 miles per hour, man. I think that God is using me truly as a vehicle to empower my people or to turn my people into critical thinkers, such as myself. I think far too many times black people in particular go along to get along or go with the norm opposed to challenging themselves, empowering themselves to uplift themselves into a totally different diagram, meaning that it's time. When I look at our people and I reflect on the word growth, it's something about us that we are a forever evolving door of the same cycle. We never vindicate ourselves in a way where we could call victory. We overcome something. It seems like the black community has become so redundant on the same damn thing day in and day out, year in and year out. If your bank account the same, if your thought process is the same, if you still throwing the same temper tantrums, if you still dealing with bullshit that you know ain't no good for you, if you ain't working or producing nothing for self or showing your children that you able to get out and produce, and you staying home and collecting a check, showing useless, worthless activity, anything that stays the same eventually dies, man. Anything that stays the same eventually dies. There are 4 seasons on our planet. You have spring, you have fall, you have winter, and you have summer. All representing change, all representing balance, all working in harmony with each other, producing for the human race and the families. So I'm saying that to say that we need to start evolving. We need to start empowering ourselves. We need to start developing a new thought process, because if you're doing the same shit, having the same baseline that you had last year and the year before that, that means that you're not even growing. You stagnant. You dying and don't even know it. It's time for the black man and black woman to start empowering themselves. And the way you empower yourself is to gain knowledge. Knowledge. People come with a lot of information. But information is something that you don't know until you study and you embrace the understanding of the information that gives you knowledge, and then you could change your reality. That's when you could change your reality, when you embrace the information that you get, study it, understand it, and then put it to work. You know, we have all these beautiful ideas about what we want to do, what we want to become, and where we see ourselves in the future. But we doing the same redundant thing. Go to work, come home, feed the kids, iron clothes, cook, take a shower, go to sleep. Come home, feed the kids, cook, earn. At some point, you got to allow the beauty of self, the genius of self, to come out. And you can't do it by yourself. It's impossible. We have prophets that represent God. He didn't do it by himself. He put people to work for him. Nevertheless, he working in unity. Everybody working in unity on one accord. At some point, you got to tap into your genius. You got to empower yourself and say enough is enough. And you got to get up and start producing. You got to start changing your reality and make it better than it was yesterday. It's, when we go to the doctor, when we're ill or something wrong with us, the doctor asks you, do you have cancer? Do you have this? He start naming off all these illnesses. And then he asks you, does your mother have this? Does your father have this? Does your sister have this? Because what he's doing, and he's trying to how can I put it? The first line of this, what he's doing is he's looking for to tell you it's hereditary, meaning that it's running in family after family. It's in your family. Your daddy had cancer, so you could get cancer. Your mama had tuberculosis or diabetes, you could get tuberculosis or diabetes. Your sister had a bad heart. It's hereditary. It's running in the family, and this is the reason why you have it. He don't tell you that hereditary only means it's a condition that's constant. When your mother ate bad, when your father ate bad, you eat bad because you raised off the food that your father, your mother, or whomever fed you or clothed you or housed you. You ate the way they ate. So you pick up the same illnesses that they picked up. So they consider that hereditary. It runs in the family. You systematically like what your parents ate because this is what all your parents fed you. So it runs through the family, and after generation, it's a cycle. It's a constant cycle of the same thing. And anything that stays the same eventually dies. At some point, you got to say, damn, what's causing all these illnesses? What's causing me to not want to mature in certain areas and grow or be better or go further than my father or my mother did? It's because you having the same mental block that you had last year, and you won't challenge yourself to be great. You won't even try. You won't even try. You won't even humble yourself enough to collect information, study that information, become knowledgeable, and then apply it. You won't even do that for self. And so the black community is powerless, although we strive to be powerful. But we cannot be powerful with the same mentality that we had yesterday, the same mentality we had last year. You're not growing if you're doing the same shit you done last year. If you got the same attitude, doing the same redundant cycle day in and day out, that's not growth. That's not growth. You have to empower yourself to want more. You got to notice that shit, it's time to grow up. It's time to empower ourselves, dear family. You know, and I think I'm on that road, man, to empowering myself, to empower those around me. And this is why all of a sudden I want to do podcasts to get the information out. But not only am I talking to you, I'm talking to myself. And I'm going to apply everything that I say to myself, because I find myself on a mission and growing into a different wisdom, a different understanding on life. And it's causing me to become the critical thinker that I am, to reevaluate everything around me, put everything in perspective. As I talked about loyalty versus love, I'm putting everything in perspective, because God is going to use me as a vehicle, and I feel it. I done did everything else. You can't tell me I done did everything. My mama was on drugs. We had to fend for ourselves as young kids. We pumped the gas. We stole from the stores. We did all that. Gang of my friends, my family members. We had to survive. I sold drugs. I was very promiscuous with a lot of women at a time, at one time in my life. I did it all. I flew everywhere, had any type of car. When I was going to Castle, I was pulling up in 50s. I was a young dude. So none of that shit, what I'm saying, impressed me. The evolution is real, because I feel myself evolving. Materialistic shit don't concern me. It don't even excite me. The thing that excites me now is treating people how I want to be treated, and loving those who love me, and evolving in my life to be a representation of God himself. So I feel good when I put out the information that I have. I feel good that I'm seeing myself wanting ownership and investing in property. I see myself evolving in this life. And so you attract what you are. And I noticed that the people that I used to be friends with, that I used to be cool with, I'm having differences with all of a sudden. Because in the relationship that we once had, I'm not relating to that, because God is evolving me into something different. I'm empowering myself and don't even know it. Some of the things that come out my mouth, it flow out. And when I grab onto the word and I apply it to what I'm doing in life, I say, damn, God working through me. But the question is, how do God work through you? I asked myself that, and I said, the books say faith is dead without works. And then it goes back and says, so a man thinketh, so is he. So when you think it, you empower yourself. When you produce it, you become that which you thought. You bring that which you thought into existence, and it makes you who God is. And this is why he said, ye are all gods, and the most high power, the highest God. Because the word God only means force and power. So we have to start empowering ourselves with better thoughts. We have to look at our lives and see what could be done differently to bring about a change that we may produce for the family, or produce for our people. We have to start empowering ourselves. And I remember the minister saying people are always complaining about other people. Won't you be the change that you looking for? And so I'm going to be that change that I'm looking for in everybody else. I'm going to be that change. So that I could lead by example. I'm not speaking no more about what I'm doing. I'm just going to execute it. I'm going to empower myself. Those that God have me at odds with is for a reason. Because he's going to weed out all that is not in my best interest. And he's going to surround me with those that's called help meet. Help meet the obligations that's on your heart. It's going to be a support system around me that's going to develop me into being what God intended for me to be. And I'm so looking forward to that, because I definitely want to keep on with these podcasts and keep empowering myself and giving the wisdom or giving the knowledge or understanding that I have, and hoping that it touches someone could relate to it. And even if I mess up on a podcast, so what? Imperfection, we all have it, but we grow from that imperfection. We gonna fuck up in life. And as I tell everybody, I may have flaws, but I'm solid, and I'm solid. And I ain't afraid to be called on my stuff when it ain't clean. And I ain't afraid to be challenged. I'm okay with that. So at the end of the day, dear family, it's time to start empowering ourselves with something new. Surround yourself with people that's about you and you about them, so the relationship can be balanced. Everybody that come into your life, quit expecting them to come for what your idea of a man or a woman should be. They may be the ones that's able to write up a contract, but not feed you in a certain way that you want to be fed in. Start identifying the people that's around you and see what they're useful for. Because it says that your value determines how useful you are. Useful determines your value. Everybody ain't going to be built for things that you want them built for. They come in a different light. It might be a person that's supposed to come into your life and give you knowledge. It may be a person that come into your life to give you love. It may be a person that come into your life to critique you and criticize you so that you may grow from that. It may be a person to challenge you to become a better reader, a better speller, a better advocate. It may be a person in your life to come and teach you how to build homes. See, this is the journey of life, and this is how God works. So stop thinking everybody's supposed to come for you in the manner in which you want them to come. No. Identify what their genius is, or identify what they're great at, and then pray on it and say, damn, this dude know how to fix cars, or this dude are good with children, or this woman knows how to take care of home. God is going to be sending people in your life for certain reasons, and you got to tap into their energy and tap into the vibe and allow them and deal with them in that manner. So when you grab everything that you need to abstract from them, you empowering yourself, and you become what God intended for you to be. Understand how God works, and quit thinking that God is going to just magic. God think God is all magic. Nah, God ain't magic. He don't do no magic. He said my language and my knowledge never changes. So we can't charge him with changing and magic and hocus pocus. No. Everything in life is real. It's as real as if you pitch yourself, you feel that pain. So when God sends someone into your life, identify what they're great at or their genius is, and take some of that and apply it to yourself. Because that's God helping you. Everybody ain't gonna come in the way you choose for them to come in or how you want them. It's time to start empowering ourselves, but the first thing we have to do is learn the knowledge of self. So in conclusion, dear family, it's time to start growing the hell up. Get rid of the egos, get rid of the pride, get rid of the arrogance, get rid of all that stuff, and surround yourself with good people and know what they're useful for and good for, because everybody's going to use somebody. That's the way life is. Just make sure they don't misuse you. Okay? Empower yourself. If what I have is good and what you have is good, and if we come together collectively and we build, we could produce revenue, we could produce commerce, we could do so many things that will enhance us and make us better than what we were yesterday. So this is podcast 9 3/4, because I haven't got to the parenting part yet, but I am. Continue to pray, continue to stay focused, continue to be specific when you ask God for what you want in life, and ask him, God himself, to help you in your journey in life. I'm out. Empower yourself, black man and black woman, Hispanic family, my Indian family, Native Americans. Empower yourself, dear families. Peace.